Well, I don't know if anybody is going to be really sad about this news that we're going to have to break, but Mitch McConnell has decided to announce on his 83rd birthday that he will not be seeking re-election in 2026. You guys, I don't know if we need a party, if we need to pop some champagne, if we need a moment of silence. I don't know how to really react to this, but it says here that he is the longest serving Senate party leader, right? And of course now it's a new era already with Thune taking over as Senate Majority Leader, but now Mitch McConnell, he's been wheeled in to a lot of these Senate confirmation hearing votes. He will no longer be here in just a few short years. We still have to deal with him.
Don't rush through them. Those are Trump years. Those are important years. Every minute, take as long as you want. I think there's a reason. I don't think this was preordained. If Mitch McConnell had been able to exercise his influence the way he anticipated, I think that he probably would not be resigning. He would not resigning, but not running. He'd be running, coming back and running again. Today is his 83rd birthday, but today is also the day that marks, the fourth or fifth Trump nominee that he's voted against. He's seen his allies picked apart one by one on Twitter and attacked by the president. He's seen the vice president coming down on people who are attacking the defense picks. He's seen people kind of melt away, and that power and intimidation and respect that he had, he's suddenly become kind of a backbencher. He's not a leader of the resistance. He's an old man in the back seats yelling that he wishes he had better seats or something. So when Kash Patel is confirmed, and he expected to vote against, I have to check all the vote counts. That's just another time he's been steamrolled. So why stick around? But if he had been successful in old Washington, he would have been successful. Then we would have Senator McConnell probably dying at lunch in the Senate cafeteria in 12 years.
It's almost as if these people are always pry the power out of my cold dead hands. But in this case, a new resurgent
Politburo.
A new resurgent right is looking at Mitch McConnell, going, "Okay, we will."
It must be shocking for someone who had as much power and influence and fear and intimidation in this town and control of money for it to just suddenly be gone.
Protest votes, man, that's what he's got right now.
It's amazing. And I'm actually, all of my brain power right now is kind of focused on trying to figure out how to get a Fern Gully reference into it.
Okay, well,
I haven't yet figured it out.
Going after Fern Gully is fine, but I know why you're going after Favo Goes West. But
An American Tale is a great film.
But it is very hurtful, because these were I don't want to go there, I don't want to do the analysis that some based on probably has already done about how these movies were actually part of propaganda. No. Fern Gully, though,
Fern Gully was a clear propaganda.
We all knew that one. That's clear cut. They aren't hiding that at all. And I think that's one of the things that the MAGA movement is trying to do right now. They're going through and they're saying, this is who we are. We're not going to hide it. And you see the coalition that is building here in Washington, D.C. right now, which is taking the power away from people like Mitch McConnell. And it's like, I never thought in my adult life that we would actually see this successful transition of power, not even just from the Democrats and the Republicans, but an actual party that is going to stand up against a uniparty. There are people that are coming together right now that are at least trying to do this. Because if we look at Doge and we start off and we say, oh, these are great things that are happening in the country right now. Well, we didn't just get here with these billions of dollars going to insert NGO here. The Republicans also allowed that to happen
every step of the way.
And you have to unite those two things together, because it's so important not to just let the Republicans off the hook on this, but also look at it and say, okay, maybe we can take that next step forward.
It's the end of controlled opposition. It's the actual real opposition party. And even the Republicans who are in control, they're still the opposition because they are completely outnumbered, completely outgunned. All of the NGOs are getting sued by the Catholic Church, which is kind of amazing and really upsetting and disappointing, but I guess it's not that shocking. I mean, I know people who are inside the U.S. Catholic Conference of Bishops, and the people who are attracted to those jobs, generally speaking, are left-wing activists who want to change the world for their left-wing ideals. And everything for them, whether it's the church or the Senate or the protest movement is a vehicle for pushing, or music. Remember, I mean, this goes way back. I mean, Bob Dylan was disliked and hated a lot. The Newport Music Festival, everyone talks about them unplugging it because of his electric guitar, but they were just sick of the fact that he wouldn't get political with them. Yeah. He wouldn't do it. Yeah. He didn't really care. He didn't really understand. It was not his thing. There's always been that peer pressure, and that's starting to break. And we're lucky the way the youth is turning, because it could have gotten dark there. I remember talking to other parents who had kids who were a little older than mine, at the beginning of when these kids were going to school and they were being told being a male is bad. Being a white is bad. America is bad. But when you do that sort of thing, you push kids to question authority in ways that can be very unhealthy. And the internet, 4chan, is quick to provide some alternatives, which are actually not good alternatives, but it is a massive form of rebellion. And since the internet now records everything you say, I'm like, oh man, these kids are going to start posting racist things. They're going to start posting, they're never going to get a job. But it turns out the youth were smarter than that. They didn't. They just laughed at it. Donald Trump, Elon Musk, dark MAGA gave them an outlet. And really the only person who lost his mind was Kanye. Everyone else, it seems to have repented. He's no longer a Nazi after consideration. But everyone else kind of kept it going. They had outlets. They had people. They had leaders. They had people who were Glenn Beck, everything, who were talking about what they were giving voice to them. So they weren't completely alone. And now they might be winning. Yes. They are.
Yes. Yeah. And a youth movement, because I think that they just see reality for what it is. So there's no baggage, right, from the past, from, we say, uniparty or whatever. They're just
unburdened by what has been.
They are unburdened completely by what has been. And they're looking around going, this is a complete crap show. Like, what are we going to do? Why are people talking to me like this? And they understand, and they see the world in a different framework that's just, it is unburdened by the baggage of the past. Now, we should say, I think this is an important point. Donald Trump is the driving force behind everything that we're talking about. And the reason that Republicans, quote unquote, are actually doing things, right? Who's the real Republican? Mitch McConnell or Donald Trump? I mean, it depends on how you view the Republican Party. The Republican Party was essentially rejected, in my mind, by the American people when Donald Trump became the nominee. That was the American people going, after decades of you guys, we reject you and we take this guy. And so now you have what is in effect an entirely
H.W.
new
Bush
party.
And Bob Dole didn't get them going?
Exactly.
No, they weren't excited. I don't know why. Losing didn't get them excited either.
No.
But now you have something that's completely different. I mean, I don't know what to call it, but it's right wing, and it is the new Republican Party, and it is ascendant, and it's real, and it's here, and it's people who are actually trying to do things.
And it's moved beyond reactionary.
Yes.
Which is great.
Yes.
I'm writing about this. I'll preview for the Beltway Brief tomorrow.
Very important.
Is why the old tricks that the Uniparty would do, which is basically chanting MAGA while they did whatever they wanted to, aren't working anymore.
Yeah, and I love the fact that you see the Republican parties and the Bushes, and they used to have total control, right? Not anymore. And now that we feel this sense of freedom, and you can feel this renewed energy that is there on the right, good luck trying to get the toothpaste back in the tube here, where we're at this point now, that little bit of hope and that little bit of, we can actually do things. Yes. Things can actually happen the way that we see the world. At this point, you don't go back from that.
Well,
hopefully.
Not to get your whole column on the table before you got it out there, but I mean, it's not. When
60
you say
seconds.
good things, you should always repeat yourself. It's not reactionary because there's actually a plan of things that people want to get done.
Yeah.
It turns out Russ Voda wrote about it in a little-known magazine, The American Mind.
I've heard of that one.
Oh, have you?